Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Richard Prime and I wanted to show you guys today what I have been working on for about the last 2 or 3 weeks. Recently I've gone down the rabbit hole on YouTube, watching different content creators remastering other games like The Simpsons Hit and Run or even Toy Story 2, and I thought that would be interesting for me to try myself. Now, just for context, I have no experience whatsoever using Unreal Engine or attempting something like this. I figured this would be a good opportunity to use a project like this as a baseline to begin teaching myself about Unreal Engine, just game design as a whole. I am just a complete blank slate to all of this, so I know things won't be perfect and that I'm going to be making a lot of mistakes while I learn, but that's just part of the journey for me. I'm doing this purely for my own education and interest in game design, and I'm just using this to like kickstart that. I never planned to remaster this game in its entirety. I really just wanted to see how far I can get in importing the environment of the original game, more specifically like the living room area, and trying to implement some of the different game mechanics into Unreal. I think this goes without saying, but I have no plans whatsoever to release or distribute this in any way to anyone, paid or for free. I'm simply just using this game as a basis to grow my own knowledge and education by working on something that I'm passionate about. Because I wasn't familiar with Unreal at all, the first thing I wanted to do was to start watching different YouTube tutorial videos on just the basic fundamentals of Unreal. I wanted to learn how to navigate the UI, how to add different kinds of components into your scene, and how to manipulate those components. I did this for about a week, and there's a lot to learn. My goal in this isn't to try to learn as fast as possible. Rather, I want to focus on learning the things I felt like I would need the most in the moment, and then to branch out from there and get more granular into the details as I would need. With Unreal, I feel like I'm a kid again, like playing with toys. Like when I import a model or a different asset into Unreal and then just being able to interact with that asset. Like if it's a character model of Chibi, and then setting it up with like a walk cycle and animations for it. It's really cool. I feel like in some ways, Unreal in itself, it feels like a game. Moving forward, I began searching online to see if there are any assets available for download that I could use to kickstart this. I found a few different websites that hosted models from the original Chibi Robo game, but a lot of it was incomplete. After a lot of searching online for different models, I was actually able to find on GitHub a tool that you could use to view different models from different GameCube games. And lucky enough, Chibi Robo was already there. All I needed was a ROM file. So with this tool in hand, I started to look through some of the different models from Chibi Robo. I specifically started looking through the living room section because that's kind of what I wanted to start with first. Like right now, you can see like there's the bone, that's pretty cool. Some plates that go on the coffee table for the party scene. And oh, so this one was really cool. So this one's the map upside down for the whole living room. Although I do notice that it's missing a lot of different assets for the scene itself. I'm not sure why it's also upside down. I feel like I could definitely use this model to kickstart it. I just need to see how much work it's going to take to probably fix this up. At this point, let's just jump into Unreal and see what we can do. So I think I want to start by importing the living room scene that we saw earlier. Excuse me, that we saw earlier. Okay, and let's import this into the content browser. Let's just see what it looks like. Okay, so it looks like we have this is a lot. A lot of materials, textures. Let's see, do we have any static meshes? So it looks like we have a skeletal mesh. look at the skeleton. Okay, so here's the model. Load it up. It's upside down. I want to try making this into a static mesh. And it's really big. Let's see what we can do. Where's it set the location to? Okay. Let's try to get rid of this dome. See if I can select it. Great. So now that the dome is gone, we can definitely look around the scene a bit better. And it's really interesting. Like, it already looks I feel like in Unreal's engine, just for lighting, the lighting looks really cool. You could see that it's definitely missing, like, it's like this is not accurate. This is, I believe this is an inverted face. Let's see. Just try using the brush. Lower it down. Wanted to flip normals. Yeah. See, so that looks better. I noticed, like, for instance, the texture here, like, this looks like it's lined up pretty well, but this is not accurate at all. I think this needs to be mirrored, and then it needs to be aligned to the texture needs to be aligned properly. So that's something we're gonna need to fix. The floor, same thing with the floor. So it looks like this is supposed to be glass, so we're gonna need to try to make this glass. Alright, this already looks really cool. Like, wow. And then this needs to be fixed. Wow. I mean, even with all, like, the mistakes, and I've tried importing this a couple times earlier actually, and the different import settings doesn't help too much. I did play around with this earlier with some of the other objects that I've been trying to import, because I know we can try to set the mesh to being two-sided for a lot of these textures. Like, if you take the texture, create a material out of it, and then set it to two-sided, we can get them to display. But I don't know if that's the proper way that I'd want to go about fixing this. I feel like these issues with the faces being inverted, I feel like that's something we'd have to try to fix by actually uninverting the face. I feel like that's what we would need to do. I'd love to see in the comments if anyone has any comments about that, just from what they see here. Yeah, so then these need to be fixed too. This is all this glass. I want to see if we can try to make some of this look a little bit more high res too. I'm looking at this table, or not table, this TV leg. I want to try to make that, see if we can make that more smooth. And then I think I'm just going to want to redo a lot of this stuff. I think everything's connected right now all together as like one mesh. And I think I want to try separating these out into different meshes, and then I'll work on them individually. But I think I want to separate them out from this, because I know with the tool that I had previously, I'm able to get a lot of different models out at the same time, or just extract them individually. And I think I want to go the route of seeing what can I take from here that's already here and then separate it out into like new meshes, and then what will I need to re-import later. Like I noticed, like if you look over here, like the dog bowl is missing, all the wrappers, all those items are missing. Those are going to need to be added in, imported. Let's see, we got to fix this border. These borders are gone. And then obviously these textures here, a lot of this stuff needs to be fixed. Wow. It looks really cool already. So I think now I want to look at the collision for this mesh. Let's see if we can add some basic collision to it if it doesn't have any. And then let's see if we can try walking around on it. So let's go ahead and let's use this this complex collision. So we're gonna do use complex collision as simple. We're gonna use that as our collision for this environment. Then let's try to see if we can add in a player start. The keyboard I'm using doesn't have an end key. Otherwise I'd click it and it should tap to the bottom. Okay, so I think that's okay. Let's see what happens if we go into preview. Okay, wow. Oh man. Oh man. Oh, the feeling of just being in here. Like with the default character that Unreal Engine has. Like I feel so cool just running through here. Wow. Can I get underneath the table? Oh. This is really cool to just run through. This is what I mean when like Unreal Engine feels like a game in itself. Or like, you know, it's like imagine taking a test environment, you put in whatever assets you want in here. Um so imagine putting Mario in here or other characters, whatever, and you just run around Chibi's environment. Like I know like a lot of this is not fixed yet, but like just the ability to just run around in here already is like it feels so cool. I think now I just want to work on the environment for a bit and see how far I get.
8 hours later.
Hello again. So I have been working on this for quite a bit now. I haven't fixed everything that was wrong with the environment yet, but I have made quite a bit of progress, and it it looks really good. I feel like let's go ahead and jump right in. Wow. So I fixed the floor and I made it a bit more reflective, and I fixed the glass, fix some of the textures for a couple of the different ones, just so that it actually looks proper now. And it really looks cool, you know. I fixed the border. I still have to fix the doors. But yeah, no, it looks really cool. Yeah, feel like this glass looks pretty cool too. I like how it's how your ability to just like see through it. Although I think I need to fix it. I think I could definitely tweak it. I think everything here I can definitely tweak more. I ended up deleting like the coffee table and then re-importing it. I found it to just be easier that way in order to deal with it. Let's see. So I this curtains here, I can take it off, and I did work on some of the back for the backyard. I really like how that looks, like just the reflections a bit for the backyard scene. So for the backyard, I ended up adding a tree that I had gotten from the Fab tool that's in Unreal, like the little storefront. But I'm thinking whether I actually See, this is a tonal issue, I guess, because like I haven't decided like, like I those plants look really cool. Those are Unreal Engine plants that I got from the store, like free ones. And I really like how they look there, but I don't know if I want to go with using the original plants and keeping them with that more polygonal style versus using something that looks more realistic. Like the tree looks more realistic, but at the same time, I don't know if I should. I think I want to import the old tree and then use the old tree's model for now, and then maybe upgrading it or giving it a new model in the future. I think that would definitely work. I did try using some AI upscaling for a little bit for a couple different items. I'm not exactly an artist, and I wanted to do it to just see like okay, like if if it takes me 5 minutes or something to get this uploaded and then get something back and putting it back in. Like definitely, I tried it with the carpet. I think I want to redo this carpet and actually make it round. But you can see I used some of the AI upscaling stuff for the textures for this one. I also did it for the curtains. I think the curtains has a really big difference, but you can see like it's not perfect. It's a lot of it's just like shapes, like what you would expect if you're using something like AI. I just used it to be just really quick, but if I do, I may take time to actually get into it later on. It's more just like okay, what can I actually do? How soon would it take to implement some stuff? I did try replacing some of those plants up there too, but I don't know if I want to keep the original ones and try upgrading those kind of or remastering them. I'd say. But yeah, it feels really cool now, like even more so. My character model's a little too big to go underneath the couch. But yeah, it's really interesting. And then I was messing around a little bit. I was trying to follow a tutorial for like emissives, and I was trying to play around with the light there, but I don't like how it looks yet. I'm trying to make it. I haven't decided how exactly I want it to light up because it lights. It's showing off some light, but it's not really doing like the square of light that I would need here. And I know there's a rectangular light tool in Unreal, but I didn't necessarily like exactly how it looks. So that's something I definitely want to spend more time on. Was for the lighting for this scene. Um, yeah, and then oh yeah, also I've added the roof in. A lot of the textures I've tried to realign essentially. Um, but yeah, this is the current progress of it so far, and I'm really happy with how it's coming along, for sure. I definitely if it just man, just the feeling of it, like the scale for the room, like it's there. So besides the environment, I did I did work on a little bit of Chibi, trying to get Chibi into the game. I was able to import him, and he is controllable, but I definitely got to fix the physics for his cord. It behaves a little weird right now. I love his idle animation. I noticed when I was playing the game because a lot of times I have to go back and play the old game and be like, okay, I remember this, or just double checking like what animations plays where. And I noticed like his idle animations I've gotten now. There's a couple more idle animations I need to get in there because I noticed he's a very active robot. He has quite a bit of animations that they've programmed for him. Another thing is I gotta fix it so that he has his actual like eyelids. He's got these metallic robotic eyelids, but they're not in right now. So that's something I need to add in, and then learn or figure out to blend it so that it would play at the same time. I'm guessing that the other animations would play, so he'd actually be able to blink because it looks like those. It's not. It doesn't seem like it's just a shader. It looks like they actually modeled those eyebrows so that they or eyelids rather, so that the eyelids actually come down and meet in the middle when he blinks. Um, but yeah, so there's a lot of work I need to do on Chibi himself. Like his tail is really funny. His core, pew. Like, it just shoots really far out there. I got to play around with the settings for the constraints for the physics for the actor, basically. Let's try taking over Chibi. Okay, so now we are Chibi. Yeah, and then if I walk around, his tail goes flying. Well, I keep calling it a tail, but it's his cord. Something I'm gonna fix later. I had it working a lot better earlier, but then I keep changing how I actually want the physics for it to work, and yeah, it's really interesting. So he does have his walk animation. I feel like the frame rate's a little slow. I gotta fix that. So like he's got his run animation, like a walk to run cycle, basically. It's really cool to see him running around here. Wow. But there's definitely a lot of things. This is very early. The first moment I had put him in, it was literally just the like he wouldn't, he had no animations. And then I feel like I could make a whole separate video just like putting him in, and then a lot of what I had to do with the animations, because a lot of the animations, I was able to import them. They're the original animations, but like I noticed the skeletons for his model, it was pretty broken, and I had to kind of just go through one by one through like each of his bones and realigning them to the actual model, and then getting them to actually play, or the animations to actually play, and that was quite a bit of work. He's got a ton of animations right now. I've only added in like this basic just idle to walk to run animation, and then I know once I fix his tail, or his cord rather, I know it's gonna look a lot better. Part of the reason why his cord's acting this way right now is because like I had it working really well previously, but then what I wanted to do was his tail. I was working on a mechanic where, because he needs to be able to pick up his tail or pick up the plug for his cord, because he needs to be able to look behind him, play an animation, pick it up, because he needs to be able to insert it as an example into these plugs that I've added here, and just that's one of the mechanics for it. So then just me, going from using the static mesh, just an individual object, and now I'm learning to like change it to actually taking that mesh, putting it inside the same blueprint class as Chibi Robo, and then having it function that way, because originally they're separate items, or like separate components, and then I was using the blueprint interface to interact between the two. But I think I'm gonna change how that works. Anyway, I think it's just, this is my current progress right now. If you're still watching, thank you for making it this far, and subscribe if you would like to see a part two. Thank you and have a wonderful day.